large part, a lot of the ways that we're doing things around here, incorporating more online programs and online classes and college advising online and all of that. But before I will get into that a little bit more, just give you a brief background of me. I am, as I said, my name is Nicole. I started AIM around 8 years ago. And I'm an Andrews girl. Are there any Andrews girls here? Oh, yes, of course. And so I went to boarding school after I studied at Phillips Academy, Andover, which is in Boston, and then I went to Princeton University in New Jersey. And I really started AIM because I love Jamaica, chose to return to Jamaica, and to build Jamaica, but I really value the experience and exposure that studying abroad gave me, and if I didn't get out full scholarship as my father told me, no uncertain terms at the time, then I would not have been able to go at all. And so I started AIM because I wanted to help more people to have that experience. And especially nowadays, scholarships are such a big part of the conversation. And I wanted to be able to empower students to unlock their dreams and to study abroad. And so that was the start of AIM.
So I'm Christina Road. I'm on Calculate. And Calculate's here today? No? Okay, well we're here in spirit. Anyway, so I started at AIM as a student. So when I was in sixth form, and similar to her, my parents were like, okay, no money, no money. So I knew that I had to achieve scholarships to be able to go out and study, which is what I really wanted to do. Because I was one of those kids who I wasn't really sure where I was going with my career. I didn't know that I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't know that I wanted to be a lawyer, unlike a lot of my friends. So for me, it was the best option. So I came to AIM, did SAT prep, did college counseling, then I started interning here. I went to Princeton. So every summer I would come back and work with AIM. And I started as an essay consultant. So I learned how to do the college essay, both from my personal experience and also with Code Trade me when I was interning here. So that's how it started. And then I started doing more general consultations. Last year I worked at a nonprofit in California to learn about their education system. Because I'm super invested in increasing access to education, which is a big part of why I'm here. So now I'm back. I'm working as a full-time counselor, and I'm really excited to help you guys achieve your goals.
And so the purpose of this open house is, yes, to tell you more about some of our programs, but we really thought it was a great opportunity in person and online to take questions and to find out, what are your concerns as you, look down the road to college and university. Parents, what are your concerns as you think about sending your children off? What are the questions that you have? And so we're gonna, run through what we do, just so that you have a clear understanding of that, but also just get the questions ready. Think about, what your dreams, concerns, or queries are, because that's why we're here. And please feel free online to jump in, ask questions, and feel free to ask anything that you want and feel like you're here.
Yes, no long talking. Exactly. Mostly questions. Okay, so we are in the business of giving people what they want, what they need, when they need it, and however you need it, right? So we are about flexibility at AIM. So all of our programs are online already, so that's a part of how we're flexible. But now we're creating new packages. So it's a new way for you to experience AIM, right?
And we'll go into some detail on that, but people have different needs. Some people are going to be looking at mainly, okay, we already have the academic planning done, what we really need is how can we get more financial aid or get a lot of financial aid and scholarships. And some will need, particular focus on writing because their writing skills might be weak.
Right.
And some people, they already know that they're going to this university or want to go to this one university, this one state because that's where their grandparents live. But they just need support in sort of figuring out the process.
Yes.
So we have programs for students who are interested in studying all over the world. And our students also, because we do a lot of online programs, our students come from all over the world. And it's a global field out there. So students study in the US, Canada, the UK. We have a student that was going to China, continental Europe, China, Japan, Germany, everywhere.
Yes.
So don't ever the conversation is only about the United States and all of the questions and so on.
So, okay, we are going to have college prep classes. So in these classes, like in our online course, you will learn about the different topics that you need to be successful in your application process. So you're going to learn how to research schools, to be able to research colleges to determine what your best fit is. You can work with us one-on-one as well if you want to meet with us to supplement what is going on in the classes. We are going to have classes about the essay writing sections. We are going to have classes about reviewing your financial aid, how to create an athletic resume, and all of these you can add on in one-on-one sessions if you need private time. So as a process, this allows you to zone in on exactly what you want to get out of the year.
Next slide, Rob.
So our one-on-one college placement program is kind of like a bundle. So in this bundle, it's more of a, I don't want to say unlimited, but you get much more access. It's all inclusive, right? So in this program, it means you want everything that's included in the add-ons for our classes. So you will get that one-on-one attention in this bundle.
I like to compare it to, we have SAT prep classes here, and it's a group class, similar to what you would have at school. And then we also have some people who, based on their needs and how they learn, prefer to and are able to have a one-on-one tutoring experience versus sitting in a class with 19 other people. So I like to compare it to that. So it's, delivery of the same content, you learn the same skills, but in one program you're doing that in a class setting. And then if you need one-on-ones, in addition to that, you can add on one-on-ones versus the one-to-one college placement program, which by virtue of its nature is just one-on-one. So it's like a class versus one-on-one tutoring, for example. And so those are the two programs that are available at AIM. Again, what Christina mentioned and what we're very passionate about doing is widening access. So we've launched our foundation as well, which is focused around students who have, overcome a lot of obstacles, are from very low income households, and we help them through our foundation. What we wanted to do with the college placement program is just design it so that there could be different points of entry. There are going to be people whose situation, budget, etc. allows them to just do completely one-on-one and they, and get all of that one-on-one support. And there are going to be people who, either by personality or fit or budget, prefer to have a class. So we have both of those options.
We also have our online course, which is another option.
The online course is a completely self-paced, self-directed, self-directed in the sense that you
work your own way through it.
It is for a student who is particularly driven. So sometimes we have these students who, they have the grades, they're very driven, they will discipline themselves, they need access to the right information.
Right.
And it used to be so painful to me to see students with such high potential that fall by the wayside just because they didn't have the right information. So we've created an online course now, which is the third offering under our college prep placement program that is self-directed and self-paced and on demand. So it's available as you. So if you are not even ready to apply to college, but you want to learn about the process right now, the ins and outs, and you want to get ready, hello, welcome, right now, then you'll be able to log on to the course right now, access all the videos, access all the material, and you will be able to take yourself through the college admissions process in that way.
And because we have our courses online, we have all our materials online. So once you join any of our AIM programs, you have access to our software that we use. So you'll have all the information online and be able to interact with us online as well through Skype, WhatsApp, video call, FaceTime. So you could be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter if you're in vacation in Africa, in China, anywhere. We can help you. And we also have counselors based all over the world as well.
Yeah, we take a very team-based approach at AIM. So Christina is just one of the counselors at AIM. I'm not a counselor at AIM, but I'd say I'm an overseer. So what I do is just
Coordinate.
I coordinate, and I also do the team success use, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the idea is that AIM is a team of very qualified, very experienced counselors who are some based in Jamaica, but also based in New York, California, Costa Rica. So just are able to link with our students online, video call, WhatsApp, video chat, all kinds of different ways to deliver the program. And this just allows us to have students have direct access to people with great experience, great results.
Former admissions officers.
Former admissions officers who have been on
the other side of the process.
The other side of the process. So it really helps to get that perspective. In addition to having a team of counselors all over the world and based in Kingston who work with students, we also have access to a great network of very, very good, very open college admissions officers. So we spend quite a bit of time traveling to conferences, getting to know different colleges, visiting colleges, but also when colleges come to Jamaica, we host them, help them to arrange their travel, and help students to get, interviews with them, and just be able to ask questions and
informal conversations. All of those add up.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying all of those add up because making yourself not just a statistic in the admission process is very important. And at AIM, we're very dedicated to making our students stand up. So it's not just presenting what you do, it's how you present it. And we like to think of it as, a marketing package. Because in this process, universities are a business and you are marketing yourself to them. You are the product and they have to invest in you and they have to want to invest in you. So as much as we can do to put our face on the application, we do.
And our personality.
And face personality. Yeah.
That connection is important.
Yeah.
So it's important for us to be able to get to know the schools, the people reading the applications, help students to get to know them wherever possible.
Yeah.
And it really does help the process. Okay, next slide. Alright, results. I love results. Results are my absolute favorite.
We're results driven here.
Completely results driven. And before I speak to results, our whole approach at AIM is fit. We're very passionate about helping students find a fit. We're not obsessed with a name.
Yes.
Or, fitting students into a box and a mold and, you should go and study this because that's good to study. And no, we get to know students.
And do personality career testing as well, Myers-Briggs.
To help them figure out, where am I going? Because it's not just about getting into a certain college. You want it to be successful when you're there. And even though the personality assessment is going to tell you this is what you have to do in life, it does give you some direction. So when you get to college, you kind of know where to explore. Your parents feel better because they don't think you'll be taking random courses and taking long to graduate and wasting your money. And then you feel good because you have at least a direction. And there's so many courses offered at these universities that it really helps to have some sense of a direction of what should I try, what can I explore more of. So we are very much about how can we help students explore themselves, how can we help students get to know what they're interested in, what they're not interested in potentially, what are their personalities, what are their needs, what do they want to learn more about, who do they want to be in the world, what might their potential impacts be, what is the parental budget involved in the whole conversation, because that's a very, very big deal. So when we speak to results, before we even look at results, I wanted to make clear that our whole approach here is fit. If you want to be a film director, we are obsessed with helping you figure out how you can be the best film director, what are the resources you can explore in the years leading up to going to college, what internships can you do, what summer experiences can you have, and what are the schools and the universities best equipped to give you the knowledge and the power and the network, etc., for you to realize that dream of film directing. Right. And I just use film directing randomly, you could fill in the blank.
Like a few years ago, we had a student and he wanted to do music production. And he was very talented. And all we did was assess him, we figured out what program he would want to do. He applied to that program, got his training, and now he's working as a producer in LA. He's very, very successful.
Music producer. Yeah. So we're not just about saying students should have to fit into the traditional mold of lawyer, doctor, engineer. It's like we believe that if you have a dream, and then we'll talk about team success in a minute because I'm just not about the dream alone. The discipline and the drive and the grit and all of those other things to support the success. Well, we're here to help you find where in the world you can do that. And I'm very conscious that we're in a global space. And just because what you dream of doing is not popular in Jamaica, or there are not opportunities to do it in Jamaica, it doesn't mean you shouldn't still explore it and shouldn't have a chance to be the best at it. And our conversation centers around immediate goals and perhaps long-term goals. So even in deciding, which countries you should study in, part of the conversation might be whether I want to stay and get some work experience in this country. Best place to do that right now is not the United States, it might be Canada. These are the kind of conversations we have to stay abreast of the trends in terms of, what needs to happen to help you be successful inside the classroom, outside of the classroom, in the immediate term, 5 years down the road, etc. So that is a lot of the conversation that we have with our students. Anyway, results don't too long for me, my favorite part. So 93% of our students get into one or more of their top 3 college choices. We're really, really proud of that. That's gone between anywhere over the past maybe 7 years, anywhere from 90 to 95. And some people might be like, how can you have that statistic? We're very, very honest here. And not honest to be hurtful, but honest because we don't like parents to waste their money. This is an industry where there is sometimes an asymmetry of information. Like, you don't know. You come to us as experts who have done this for many years, who have had many students, and who know the universities and know what they need and know what they cost and know what scholarships and how to get them. And so we're not in the business of you coming to us with 3s as an international student, saying that you need a full scholarship, and us smiling with you and telling you that it's going to happen because dreams come true. No, we believe that dreams come true, but we're not going to sit down and tell you with all 3s, which is probably a 2-point-something GPA on a 4.0 scale as an international student, that you're going to get a full ride. Unless you're like a Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps, and then we can talk about the athletic side. And that can be difficult news to hear, and we try to land it as gently as possible. But we don't want you to say, hey, Aim, we don't want to sell you a pipe dream. We're not going to say, hey, pay us and we will make it happen, when we know that based on the information we have, it's not likely. So one thing that nobody could accuse us of here is being out of integrity with giving you an opinion because we want you to sign on to this program or to believe that is going to happen. So when we give you statistics like that, it's because we manage and help parents and students manage their expectations. Every single college list that we help students with is a balanced list, in the sense that we want you to reach. When I told Christina that I wanted her to apply to Princeton, she didn't even think that she could get in.
I applied to it last, like Deborah.
She refused to apply, and I had to push her, please apply. So it's not that we don't want you to dream, and it's not that we don't want you to aim high. We are above that life. We want you to dream. We want you to aim high. But we also want to make sure that you have a balanced list, because it is a competitive process, and no matter what, we want you to have options. And so we try to coach our students to move beyond just a name. We coach parents to move beyond just a name, to look at the real opportunities available, to look at what graduate certain schools have done, and to really open mind when it comes to college and college admissions. So we're at 93% for admissions, one or more top 3 choices right now. And our students have gone everywhere. As I said, we're about fit. So we have students who are at SCAD, which is Savannah College of Arts and Design, studying, graphic design, photography. We have students at Stanford doing engineering at MIT. We have many students at Princeton. We have a lot of students at University of Miami. We have students who are, super into pre-med, and they go to Emory because they want a certain type of pre-med experience. Just everywhere. Anything you can pick up. We have students who have gone to Oxford in the UK. We have, it's just, if you have a dream and you have an interest, we want to help support you to get that goal, but we also want to help suggest different paths that can help you to get.
So we do a lot of research as well. We use our network, we talk to people, we travel a lot to go to see the different schools and what options. So we make it our business to be super educated and up to date on whatever is going on.
And the thing, and what I like about where we are now, having done this for 8 years, is that whatever we don't know, we're very comfortable to tell you that we don't know, but we can find out probably within 24 to 48 hours because we know we have different admissions officers at different schools that can tell us things, as well as our network of consultants all over the world. So that's a very great feeling for me. I'll share this with you, and it kind of brought home the import of what we are able to do based on our experience in the past. As I said, about 8 years now, and distilling that information across our team. A student can come to us with an issue, and we can solve that issue that they have been trying to solve for months or more within an hour or 2 hours, whereas it might seem really hard, but because we've done it for a long time, we can do it quickly. And that's where I think the investment counts, because it's just so much information out there. I hired a coach this year for my business, for business that I'm developing, right? And because we wanted to move in more into the online course space. I'm just sharing this story because I think it really highlights the importance of expertise. And I've known for like 2 years that AIM needs to do more online and needs to do more, like allow students to go on their phone. They're always on their phone. I'm always on my phone. We need to be able to do things on the phone. It can't be that you are doing a college advising program, and for you to get the help that you need, you have to show up here every time. That won't make no sense. That's not how we're doing things these days. And I'm like, we need to move into the online. And I'd sit there on my computer and be like, Googling things, and I'd be like, the 1,000,001 platforms you can use, and I'd be like, what next? And so for 2 years, it didn't happen. And then I was like, I'm going to need to hire somebody to help me with this, because this don't make no sense. And within 4 one-hour sessions, the coach that I hired had us, well, within 2 sessions, we had launched the online course. Like, it was, because she's been studying that for like years. That's only what she does. Research and college placement, and that's our world here. That's what these consultants sit down doing every single day.
And we love it.
It is very hard to find a school that we haven't had a student go to. It's hard to find a situation that we can find a way to solve, even if we can't solve it ourselves. So in that sense, I think navigating the process can be scary because there's so much information out there. But even within an hour or 2 hours of just getting the right advice and the right information, you'll find that it's easier to navigate than maybe you thought. So don't be afraid of the process. All right, what do we have next? So it's very Okay, so tutor and test prep. Well, when I started AIM, and some of you have heard this story already, but when I started AIM, we did not even do any test prep. I was like, no, I just, it's all about the colleges. And, helping students to do great essays and, choose great extracurriculars and student development, yay. And then very soon I realized that you could have all of this great student development, great classes, lots of ones, all of these things. And at many schools, if you don't have the standardized test score, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. So I could never say that we are vested in students' success in the college admissions process and don't deal with the thing that you really need to deal with, which is test prep. So you can do the SAT or the ACT for most schools. There are some schools that are test optional, meaning you don't have to do any kind of testing. There are other schools that are what we call test flexible, meaning if you are doing CAPE, is everybody in here CAPE? Anybody doing IB? CAPE, IB? CAPE? Okay, CAPE. So like at NYU, for example, is what we call test flexible. So they'll say, oh, don't send us any SATs, send us your predicting CAPE 2 results. Because at that point you'd be, you're applying in November of your opposites year. So they look at your CAPE 1s and then tell you to send predicting CAPE 2s. Which is great. And so there's some schools that do that, but most schools require SAT scores, and most of the schools that give the significantly large scholarship and financial aid packages, especially to international students, are still asking for SAT and ACT. Now, I predict that in 10 years, I don't know, we've never had this conversation, I don't think they're going to be using SAT, ACT in 10 years.
I mean, it's changing, definitely, because Harvard is going that way. Yeah.
Well, Harvard stopped requiring subject tests.
Yeah.
Still require.
But I think they're going slowly, sure.
And I think once a Harvard does it, everybody else will like when Harvard doesn't require it.
That's why when I said they took out the subject test, I think it's going in that direction, like they're paring down.
They said that they removed subject. You know what a subject test is? Okay, let me. So SAT, everybody knows what SAT, ACT is. It It's a standardized test that most colleges require as part of the admission application. A subject test is a 1 hour long test in a particular subject area that is administered by the SAT. It is a multiple choice test, and some schools require it as part of admission. They offer subjects, they offer the test in the core areas. So when we say the core college prep curriculum that colleges look for, we're talking about English, math, sciences, so like the bio, chemistry and physics, foreign language, so they offer Spanish, French, Chinese, all the German subject tests, etc. And then I always history. So the social science, they have world history and US history. So anyway, a lot of competitive colleges used to absolutely require these tests. And then they started to make them optional, and the official explanation is that it is unfair to lower income students because you have to pay for the test. But some students get waivers, but the waiver apparently wasn't applying in a fair way to
but it's also the
low
test
income
prep,
students.
right? So low income students normally, especially like in the States and even here, have less opportunities to do test prep because in the States it's extremely expensive. So you'll only find students who go to private schools really doing it. So they found that it was causing more social stratification instead of allowing increased access to education.
This is her. This is your.
So this is my
research.
passion. I'm very, very, very passionate about low-income students and increasing access to education. So I actually did my thesis on social mobility at Princeton, and I did a lot of research on, how people move up through society and what the barriers are. Even though I was an English major, this is what I wanted to focus on. So when I went to the nonprofit in California, so it's based in a low-income community called Oakland. Currently it's going through gentrification because it's near to San Francisco, Silicon Valley, where a lot of money is coming in. But Oakland has predominantly been like Jamaica, like low-income working class people. And so they're having a lot of problems, both budgetary and logistically, with their school system. And so I was looking at their issues in comparison to ours, and they're very similar. And yes, SAT subject test prep, which is why we try to make our prices lower. In the States, it's just absolutely ridiculous, and it does cause those problems. So at AIM, we're very cognizant of what we're offering, and we're very much trying to help people from every walk of life to achieve. Because in Jamaica, we're never going to succeed.
Okay, so we should put a caveat on that. And so students who fit that kind of criteria apply to AIM through the AIM Higher Foundation. And through the foundation, we cover all of their costs. We end up paying for applications, their SAT, to actually sit the test, which is $75, which to a lot of people is like, oh, it's just $75, but to people who don't have it at all, $75 is a barrier. So we pay for their test, we cover their preparation for the test, and then pay for their applications and all of that. So that's through the AIM Higher Foundation side. And if anybody's interested in that after, or you know a candidate, because a lot of time our AIM parents will come to us and tell us about students. So we get the students through guidance counselors at schools, as well as other AIM parents who come to us and say, hey, I know of the student, she's in my daughter's class, she really needs the help because of X, Y, and Z, and this is, her situation, etc. And we're about whole application. Definitely ask about that, and we'd be happy if you have any recommendations for us, because we're going to be onboarding new students to the foundation, and we're very interested in having that.
We've even had students DM us for applications.
All right, so Christina spoke to. I'll give you one shocking statistic. We read a lot of articles, right? So our average test prep movement for the SAT is anywhere from 250 to 300 points. Our SAT prep class is $1,150. Is it $1,150, Lily? This is Lily. Lily deals with all enrollments. She knows what everything costs.
We love Lily.
It's $1,150, and as when Christina made that point about what test prep can go up to in the US, this is a very competitive industry. And there are a lot of people from certain walks of life in the US who take this very seriously. And so they'll even start hiring consultants from kindergarten to get into the right, have you guys heard of this before? Into the right preschool, they'll be hiring like a $20,000 consultant, get them into the right preschool, then they have to get to the right elementary school, school, and then the right high school, and then I know you're horrified. It is true. Trust me. I have all of your emails. If you guys like to read articles that make you shocked, I will send you all of these articles. It is very,
Especially
I went to one of these boarding schools, so I came into contact with some of those families that you could see from like age 2, not even age 2,
How do you tell?
they're like above that line. And so anyway, what I was saying is our class is $1,150. We get a 250 to 300 point test score movement. The average test score movement after prep in the US, this is including every kind of prep, is about 40 points, which to me is completely ridiculous. Why bother prep? But there is in particular one consultant who has a movement of 300 points, and you know how much he costs an hour? I want to just take a guess because I'm going to send you the article because you're not even going to believe what I'm about. $1,000 per hour. I'm not talking about for the class, you know. I'm talking about per hour. And this is, I mean, there's just a segment of US society, the top 5% or whatever, that is paying this much because of the premium that there is on getting a high SAT.
So you can really see how low income people would be disenfranchised.
Well, they'll never be able to access that kind of prep. So anyway, most schools absolutely require SAT, especially when it comes to international students. It is a very important test. You don't have to do the SAT. You could do the ACT. What we believe in here is just doing whatever will get you the highest score because, you know, the scores are correlated to admissions and scholarships. So we have no philosophical preference. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we do a test diagnostic. So when you start the program, you take both the SAT and the ACT without studying or anything, just as a mock. And we'll see which one has a higher score for you. Because it means you probably have a natural predisposition toward that one, and then we'll just work with that one.
I've noticed that most males prefer the ACT. Okay, so the difference between the ACT and the SAT is there used to be a bigger difference, and then the ACT started gaining market share, and more people in the US were doing the ACT than the SAT, and the SAT overhauled in March 2016.
Yeah.
So both of them now, the big difference used to be that the ACT included science. Now, both of them have science, and by science I mean scientific reasoning, right? So it doesn't require any deep knowledge of physics or deep knowledge of chemistry, but you are gonna have to interpret some graphs and you're gonna have to do some scientific type things, okay? Well, did any science after high school, so I don't know. But I also don't tutor the ACT, but we know we have a team of tutors who are very good who do it. But the science in the SAT now, they do the scientific reasoning not as a discrete section of the test, but across the math and verbal sections. For example, so you might come across a verbal section, a verbal question that is asking you about a scientific concept or a passage that is some science-based passage that you're going to have to do some reasoning on. The math, you might encounter a graph having to do with a science experiment, for example. So you see what I mean?
But it's
so
not meant to test the concept. It's more meant to test your way to think through things.
The reasoning on
Yeah, so you don't need to SWOT anything. That's what I'm trying to say.
You just have to learn to how to do that type of thinking. And then, as I said, on the ACT, there's a specific science section. Both ACT and SAT feature an optional essay section. Praise the Lord, one of the best developments. You just see me sometimes scream out randomly in my house when I read something. And when I read that the colleges, like that the elite colleges started getting rid of the essay requirement, I was so happy. Because the SAT essay and the ACT essay are both just painful. And I like writing. Can you imagine? It's painful. And so now you don't have to do the essay section because I would say 95% of colleges don't require it. And the hardest colleges don't need it either. And so that's a big relief. So I would say don't just do the don't just say, well, you know, I'm gonna do the ACT because everybody else is doing it. Figure out what's best for you. The thing with the ACT, which automatically has most people saying no, is the time. There are more questions that you are expected to solve in a given time versus the SAT. So you have more time per question in the SAT. A lot of time kids know the answer, but can't produce it so fast for the ACT. That's the major factor.
I just want to know that if the SAT or the ACT is for the US colleges, or is it something that can be used in Canada or in the UK?
That's a great question. No, you don't count it. Okay, so the SAT and the ACT is their US-based test, mostly required by US, but it depends on the type of educational system you're coming from. So if you are applying to Canada from Jamaica, from a CAPE system, you wouldn't need the SAT or ACT. But suppose you're going to Canada from the American International School of Kingston on a US curriculum, and you want to be assessed on a US high school diploma, a part of the assessment globally for the US high school diploma is the SAT or ACT. And then of course you have the IB diploma, which if you're applying to UK, Canada, etc., you don't need SATs with. So it just depends on how you're being assessed, on what system. Great question. Any other questions? Yeah. What is IB? What grade are you in? 10, okay. So I was just checking if it was relevant or not. But the IB is a program, International Baccalaureate, offered by two schools in Jamaica, Hillel and the American School, where we are right now. And it is a post fifth form, like a K program, but a different program. So it is a sixth form program coming out of Europe, internationally accepted. You do, Cape where you're required to do 4 or 3 plus comm studies. You're required to do six subjects to get an IB diploma. You have to choose across the curriculum. So in the most colleges want students who have done a solid college prep curriculum, which is why we try to intervene in third form and get in front of as many third formers as humanly possible. If you know any third formers, spread the word, because the point of subject selection is where a lot of people get messed up for 4 or 5 years down the line for college.
Certainly.
Yeah, because they're selecting POB and accounts and TD, and they're selecting just a slew of what we call elective subjects to the neglect of core subjects. The core subjects are math and English, which thank God are required. We also highly recommend literature, and schools like to see literature because it means you have at least read a book recently. And literature is supposed to help with your writing skills.
And natural sciences and social sciences.
Natural sciences, which would be biochemistry, physics. Some people do human and social biology, we prefer biology. Some people do integrated science, we prefer just one of the hard sciences that you can go in depth in. And we only prefer based on what colleges prefer. We don't have any, we're about getting you a result in this way, so we are not coming with our own, well, in theory, no, yeah, we're just like, this is what's going to prepare you for success. And so IB, you don't have a choice. In CAPE, you could literally select whatever you want. But in IB, you have to select across. So you have to do a language in IB. You don't have a choice. The most unfortunate thing I see is people dropping language in third form. It's terrible. US colleges love to see you with a foreign language.
So if you're looking towards Canada and you're going into 6 months, what are the best subjects to
So that would depend on your interest. That would depend on your interest, but as much if you have choices, we love for you to stick to the core.
So like literature, if you're a science student and you do bio and chemistry, you want to do biochemistry.
Or yeah, for example, if you want to be an engineer, you're gonna need math and physics, and chemistry would be good in that way.
But as much as you can, try to add in like literature or Spanish or
If you can. Now colleges understand that there's only so much room to add with CAPE and no more, right? So they're not gonna expect you to have the breadth of the IB if you're not doing the IB.
They do not expect you to do 6 CAPE subjects. They don't.
No, that's not, although we have had.
We have had, but they don't. They're not expecting.
But they're not expecting that. So people might say that's crazy, but people are talented and gifted in different ways, and wherever you're talented and gifted, you should push yourself. And so we've had a couple students who have done 6 CAPE subjects. Now, that's not something most people. certainly. I mean, I didn't do CAPE because I went to boarding school.
I did
Me don't think we could have do 6 subjects.
I did CAPE, I
You
did
did
5
five.
subjects, and
Right.
that was quite enough.
It was quite enough. You wouldn't be like, let's do another subject.
Right, Jonathan.
No, so, and he went to Harvard. So he was very like, John was
Yeah.
very driven and he wanted to do 6 subjects. And then the other person that did 6 was Jenny, and she's a nurse now. And she's just different. So it's not like we're, nothing about we're just different.
People are different, they have different thresholds for different things. 5 was good enough for me, I went to
And it pushed you. We're about students challenging themselves and doing what is the best fit for them. Not because you're like, oh, let me do this to satisfy that, or, you know, and this is an approach that we take in courses. We also take it in extracurricular activities. That's something we coach students on and help them to develop. Colleges love to see impact in that way. Students often come and say, oh, but should I join badminton or should I join this or which one is the best one for colleges? And it's not about that. It's about
following your passion to the max. So taking it as far as you can take it.
and what your interests are. And so we have students who have done a range of different extracurriculars, but one thing they all have in common, there's an impact there.
We have a
There's an
chef right
authenticity there. Yeah,
We have a chef right
We
now.
have a chef. We have, I mean, I had someone start a skateboarding club. Like, there is nothing, I have somebody who's going to do
Cheese
a,
club.
remember the cheese
Cheese
club?
club.
Cheese club. I have a student who is about to put on, who is going to put on a video game competition. You know, because man just love video games.
They're
When
when
I
I
visit
in
it,
the US and
it's
Japan.
it's a $1 billion industry video game.
Smash.
Don't make no joke. If you can channel that, if you can be a programmer or a designer or a conceptualizer or the storyteller behind the video game, like colleges have serious departments. When you go to the gaming section of Full Sail University and you see where the game designers are, they're driving, if you see the parking lot, they're like serious high-end because they're getting paid in college. So they're driving some serious car because it's such an industry. So even, as I said, we're in Jamaica, but we don't have to limit ourselves. Just because it's not a thing here doesn't mean it can't be something, an interest that could be nurtured and channeled into a very successful and fulfilling career. And we like to talk to students about those things and that kind of exposure. Another important tip I would give, and you can start to think of just the other tips that you've seen help, but if parents can, and I'm trying to do this with my kids, and they're in like, what, grade 2? Kindergarten. But anyway, I think it's important, consistency, and so do colleges. You know, it can't be that every term that starts, you join 3 different clubs, and then no, oh, nobody don't come to meeting them. Oh, it's boring. Oh, no, the other members are just not organized. I'm not going to be in that club. So every term come now, you join something different. And by the time you look at your record now, you're upper 6. You haven't even been in anything longer than a year. That's a problem. Colleges are looking for consistency. And I'm very passionate about that. And it's something I teach in what we call the Teen Success Series, right? You have to see yourself as an actor in your own life. It can't be that you go to the club and the meeting boring and you can't do anything about that.
Get them to organize it.
Maybe you need to come up with a plan.
Maybe you can become the vice president.
Maybe you need
That's an
to bring in
opportunity.
some guest speakers. Maybe you need to come up with some new activities for the club to do. Maybe you need to start your own club. Maybe. But the solution is never to just sit down and be like, well,
It wasn't there, so I didn't. Create your own opportunities.
exactly. And within opportunities that will suit you, try to make a change in there.
And we push our kids to do that all the time.
And a lot of times, some of the most interesting essays, which the
Come
essay
from that,
people
yeah.
talk about, right? This is the essay boss. The most interesting college essays come from when you've actually done something about a problem that you see. Nobody wants to give a full scholarship to somebody that just see problem and observe problem and complain about problem. They want to invest in people who even after when they leave university will go on to do things in the world.
So they can put their name on it. It's a business. What did I say?
It's a business, and also they write you and tell you to give them donation and all of these things. But you're looking not for what you've done now as an indicator of your future success. Like, why should we invest in you? You have to see yourself as if you look at yourself right now, would you invest in yourself based on what you've done for the past 3 years? These are questions no scholarship never put on for you. No, admission never put on for you. A lot of people come with this idea like, oh well, I need a scholarship. When you look, you're like, okay, so what is the,
You're not entitled.
what, you know, like, so what are you bringing to the table?
Especially when
It's
it's
not
not
what
your
you're
country. Especially when you're an international student, they don't owe you a thing. Matter of fact, right now, anyway,
No,
they don't owe you.
never start talking about Trump.
They don't owe you anything, is what I'm gonna say.
And that's an important, I think that's an important life principle. I like that principle for life, because when you go into situations doing that, not one soul don't owe you one thing. They don't have to actually do anything. Your parents right now never have to bring you here. They don't even have to pay for college. Think about it. They don't have. So you're always going being like, okay, you don't expect that, you're not going in thinking, anybody owes me anything, so you're willing to put in that work. And that is very, 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 that's like what? Major key. Major key. So it's about looking at yourself and saying, how do I develop into with a record that somebody would want to invest
And in the Teen Success series, Nicole talks about that a lot.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. The last thing I was going to say is when Christina said, especially if it's not your country, that's important. But also, I don't want people to feel like just because they have a green card or a US passport, which it takes a lot, that it just means that the money just will start to flow. Because students get in the US have passed $3 trillion. That student get in the US, that's US citizens, they live there, and they're having to take out all of these loans for
And some of
university.
them don't even get into universities. They're not entitled either. Like I said, California, learning about their system. That's one of the problems that they have. Over half of their students in these struggling schools aren't matriculating to college. So they're trying to solve that problem as well.
Absolutely. Okay, and we're gonna open the floor for questions in a second. I just want to talk about Teen Success series. We've been referring to it. So we're more, this slide is a bit wrong, but it's okay. It's more than just college admission, it's about success. But so what I realized, having done this for a number of years, is that, it's one thing, and we celebrate when our students get the score. When, their score, SAT score, at one time I had a student that was able to move her. When she did the SAT, her score was under what she needed. She needed a $40,000 scholarship. And then she did the course, and then she got the score, and it was like, she was winning points now over what they needed for the scholarship. So she had just, been able to access it, and that's 40 grand, like, per year, times 4. That's enough money, over a score, over 10 points, enough money. So I celebrate those things, don't get me wrong. But then I started to say, my dream in all areas of my life is to empower people to be successful in their lives and to realize their own potential and to use what's inside of them to realize its potential. And we get the result, and they get into the college, and everybody celebrates and get the score, and everything is good, and then they go to college. And then, some of them do great and they thrive, but they go through certain things, and some of them don't do so great, and some of them haven't developed these other skills that are so important. Skills and habits that are important for success. So I was like, you know what? I don't want any more students leaving AIM with just knowing how to prep for a test and get a high score and write some college essays. I want people leaving AIM with specific tools for success. I want you to be able to manage yourself. I want you to know systems for staying motivated. Like, cause sometimes when the winter comes and it's dark and it's cold for all weeks on end, it's dark. It's dark. And even in Jamaica sometimes with all of the sunshine, it's still very rough. So it's like, how do I stay motivated? How do I manage myself? If I know procrastination is a serious problem, how do I overcome it? What are the tips? What are the strategies? What are the tools? How can I, prepare a better resume and do a better interview? Because that becomes a skill that's important. So we looked at the skills that students were telling us they were struggling with. And we looked at what we know about teen success and developed a curriculum based on that. It's called the Teen Success Series. And what I'm doing now is offering it entirely online and offering it free to any student who does an AIM program. So whether college placement or tutoring, test prep or both. And they'll be able to access it like that and just form a community of support. You want to be excellent, but we have to get rid of some obstacles that are in the way first. And so I really, that's my baby, that's my like love project. I love those things. And then we do a vision board, which I think is really powerful as well. So, you know, we like to say that it's more than just about getting into college and getting this score, but just about preparing you to be successful in your lives. Very, very passionate about that. Okay, time for questions. Oh, that's a lie. We're just telling you, we said this before, but education is global, and we really believe in that. And so students from all over the world access in through our online facilities.
And these are just a few examples of where students come from and where they go.
Exactly. So lots in, you left out Canada, but we have students in Canada, Jamaica, Barbados, through the Caribbean, and then they end up going Bahamas, Cayman, and then they end up going all over the world, as we had previously said. So, question time. Anybody with any questions about anything from essays to the essay master? She can talk to you about how, anybody wants to know about how college essays work and all of that? Okay.
What's the question? Okay. Okay. So, well, first of all, it depends on where you're applying, right? Okay. So for the UK, the essay is about 600 words, and it's mostly about why you want to do what you're applying. So for example, when you go to UA and you write about why you want to be in the medical faculty, it's that kind of essay. So in that sense, they're looking for anecdotes, they're looking for stories about you that convey why you think this is a program for you and why you want to be a doctor, lawyer, etc. For the US, it's a bit different. Canada, they don't normally require essays, and the schools that do often email it to you after you apply. So for the US, they have the most complicated essay system, I would say. So I'll explain that a bit. So the common application is what most schools accept. There's also the coalition application, which is a fairly new platform that allows you to apply to many different schools. Not as many as the Common App right now, but the essay is similar. And so for those applications, they often ask for one main essay. So that main essay, they want to know who you are as a person. Because as I said, universities are a business, and they're also thinking about building their community. Because many of these schools are residential, right? So they're looking for, who are these people who are going to live here, who are going to contribute to campus life. So there are 7 prompts. The 7th one is an open prompt, which essentially means you can write about anything, and you don't have to follow any prompt. What they care about is you bringing across who you are. So normally, we do a lot of brainstorming. So when you sign on to AIM, you do reflection exercises, which includes questions that help kids to think about who they are. Because at that stage, research shows that most kids haven't done that level of introspection because their brains haven't developed to the point where they're thinking like adults and in that kind of way that the application might require them to. So it's actually very hard for them. So in these applications, often students think about a story, and it could be the day that they tripped and they realized gravity. Some of them are as simple as that. Some of them do talk about scaling Mount Everest, but that's a rare story.
You talked about how you couldn't dance.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yes.
Well,
so it's not just about these glowing, great things that you've done, but it's also like,
I was a mediocre ballerina.
She was a mediocre ballerina, but I just loved it so much. That's an interesting story, because they don't just want to hear, oh, I'm the top, this, I'm the top, that, and that time when I ended up with an A+ from a C. No, it's like, guess what, I'm probably never going to be the greatest ballerina, you know? Sometimes you just do it for the love.
Yeah,
That was my greatest
thank you. But yeah, so a lot of students write about different things, and some of them are really big and some are small. But the point is that you have to bring across what drives you and what you want to do with the work. Like, what is the impact you want to make? And that doesn't mean I want to be a doctor who saves all the people. It just could be I want to figure out how I'm going to help the most people because I'm really interested in helping people. That's my passion. So anything that really shows your passion and how it developed and how you've grown over time, that's a good essay. Does that answer your question? It's around 650 words. There are also supplementary questions that some US schools have. So they may ask, why do you want to attend University of Miami? Tell us
just about, your most meaningful subject at school.
Yeah.
There are different
So those
questions.
are more straightforward.
What have you, like, what's the most supplements you see a school ask for?
Well, depending. So, okay, some supplements are just one-word answers. But, like, I've seen a school have maybe 500-word essays.
Plus the common.
Plus the common essay.
Yeah.
Included.
So in the college application class, we'll teach you how to write it, all of these things, how to write the supplement, etc. And then we'll go through what essays have worked. We'll show you successful essays by types of student, etc. And then if you want to do more one-on-one
So
writing,
this is a class setting now.
class. If you want to do more one-on-one without essay consultant, then you
can
can
add
add
that
that on. If you're doing the full college placement, like bundle program, then you get 25 hours of essay work included, and that could 25 hours of essay work is usually enough. But there are some people who are applying to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford, and by the time you add up all of that, it would literally be 50 hours of.
But at the same time, I've had other students who, one student may take,
It depends on the student.
one student may take 10 sessions to write a common up essay. I kid you not, I've had a student do it in one.
Yeah.
We talked about it in one session, she wrote it, she came back to me, I edited a little bit, it was perfect.
That's because different students are different types of writers. Some people are very good writers, they love reading, they love writing, this is their thing, right?
So,
And then there are some students who is like it's like forget college essay. Let me first teach you how to write.
yeah.
And then we can do the college essay, which takes more time. So it all depends on it, which is why we're excited to be able to offer this program in different ways. So, if your child is that writer child, then that's going to cost you less because they need less. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach, which we're excited about. Very excited.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any other questions? Must have more questions.
Maybe we did a really good job.
Oh, chatting.
I know I came out late, so I don't know if you addressed it earlier, but I'm curious to know about the programs you mentioned, and you also talk about the team success. So I'm not sure if it's integrated in
Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay. So the Teen Success Series is going to be able to be accessed by any student at AIM who is enrolled for free, that is, who is enrolled in college prep or SAT prep or tutoring.
Because we have our
But-
online platform.
But it can be purchased separately too as a standalone. Like what if you don't want to study abroad at all? Because that's the other thing. We're coming across students who, they want to stay in Jamaica for their degree, or they don't have the budget to study abroad, or they have some setbacks in high school and they don't have the scholarship profile for undergraduate, but they want to build it for grad school and they need to, so it's open. The Teen Success Series is open to anyone who wants to enroll in it. It's just that they would pay for it, and if you're an AIM student, it would be part of your program.
Yeah, and you can always come in for an initial consultation if you just want to talk about success strategies in general. Like you don't want to go abroad, but you
Right. I have a student coming to me about that next week.
yeah.
Coming to us about that.
So you can just book an initial consultation.
And initial consultations are also opportunities. Actually, they are designed as the first step to college prep at AIM, where you sit down with your individual profile, you bring us your transcript or your most recent report card, and we sit down and have an hour-long conversation with you about what your goals are, what you want to do, or if you know what you want to do, what your grades look like, what this might qualify you for, what is your timeline, what are the steps you in particular are going to have to take over the next. But I student yesterday who's 9 months away from submission, she's in lower 6. So if you're in lower 6, you're about 9 months out from when we like you to submit. If you submit in October, November, our experience is that you get more scholarship money. We're about that life. We're about that scholarship life
It
here.
doesn't make sense you get in and can't go.
Right? Or if even if you have the money to go, you could have saved the money, save it for grad school or something else. So we like that scholarship life. So, in the initial consultation, we sit down, we take you through the main drivers in the process as they relate to you, give you some suggestions, give you a suggested timeline. You may take that information and run with it. You may take that information and say, hey, I want to, you to take me through this process one-on-one. And if you decide any of those, then you will be assigned to our main counselor here to do that. And we recommend 2 years of sixth form.
Yes, that's what I was just
Oh,
saying.
okay.
I was gonna say, we talk about sixth form as a terminal position because it has to be. Because you're not considered finished in the US.
In many schools.
Yes, unless
Some
you finish
schools will
sixth form.
consider you finish if you finish a few, but first of all, my students who do that are like, why didn't I stay? I should have done math at sixth form. No, everybody know more than me because they do. And then especially a lot of people don't know that you should do math if you want to study business. Cake math, my friends, not CSC math, which teaches you nothing. No offense, CSC. Okay, so it's really a thing, and so we do recommend 2 years of sixth form.
So repeat that again. You definitely recommend 6
Definitely recommend, not just 1 year. We recommend 2 years because and I know one size doesn't fit all. And if you want to come and talk about the individual case, you may, and you can sit down and do the consult and go through all the things. But we usually arrive at the same conclusion, which is do 2 years of sixth form. One, it makes you more competitive for success in the scholarship process.
Because you don't know at the end of fifth form what kids graduating from 12th grade in the States, which is their end. That's the end of their school. You don't know at fifth form what they know.
Yeah, you haven't covered enough.
Yeah.
God bless the sexy, but we should stop telling parents and students. I would say
Yeah.
but that's not the last year.
Yeah.
No, we should stop telling parents and students that end of CSEC is graduation.
It's not.
Because that's not a global standard. I'm sorry. It just, for people heading to tertiary, it just is a problem in a lot of ways. So we know maturity is usually good to gain it here. And then, as I said, competitiveness for scholarships, the knowledge when you get to college. So it's not just about getting in, but how about thriving while in, succeeding while in college? I have a student right now who did sixth form, but because he was doing 1 year, and he had gotten the admission decision, I want to say December. If I called him right now, he wouldn't even feel no way because every time he ball when him see me, I should have listened. Okay, he did 1 year of sixth form, he got the admission results early, said, low out the sixth form, and I'm talking, and now he's there, he's like, why didn't I pay attention? I have to be doing all these extra tutorials when all my friends gone out in business, living their best life. He's an athlete. He wants to be able to play football. He can't go to practice because he has to go tutorial instead because he never know this and he don't know that.
And if you can't play if you're ineligible,
Also,
and you will become ineligible through your grades.
Ineligible. And let me tell you,
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen, and it's very, very
Reach.
sad, especially because they do not give you the money to cover the
I was about to
extra
talk
year.
about. Listen, it is much cheaper to do sixth form than to do extra courses in
Before
college.
you go forward with that, 1 second. Having gone to boarding school, which you have, give me the pros and cons. Not the pros and cons. Take money out of it because I know going to boarding school is expensive. But if you have a choice of going to boarding school and doing CAPE, would you say that one has a much bigger advantage over the other, or is CAPE a great program that you don't need to go to boarding school? As everybody is on this boarding school hype after fifth form, and they're giving you the impression that you're ahead of the race if you go to boarding form. Is there any truth in
Well,
that?
I didn't go to boarding school. I did CAPE, so I'm not biased, but I think it depends on who your child is.
Okay.
I thought about boarding school. I did because as you say, the craze,
And it's a crazy competitive.
It is, and I wanted to go away and study, but I didn't feel ready, to leave my parents, and I liked the teachers that I had. So it was more strategic for me. I know I was a literature student. I had a fantastic teacher at Campion, Celia Webster.
You were embedded in your extracurricular.
Yes, I had a whole heap of extracurriculars. I was in line for leadership roles. So I stayed on for sixth form, and I got senior prefect, and I thrived. I really did.
And that was an important part of
It
that
was.
application. Leadership is very important in the
And sometimes kids go away and they struggle with re-establishing themselves in the school. And they don't achieve those leadership roles because those people don't know them, and they may go away and become, bad. They don't adjust well, or their grades could fall.
So
They're
it's
not
set
their
them back rather than push them ahead. You
Yeah,
should set
but
them
it
back.
depends on your
It depends
child.
on the child. Because I went to boarding school, and we have a lot of boarding school
Yeah.
students have in, because as we said,
That
we
I
also
work
online
with, that
programs
were
and
cool
stuff.
works.
And we have had them, they've been very successful, a lot of them. But where the kids who struggle.
Yeah.
And that is a problem for college admission. So it depends, and even Betty Walker is a boarding school consultant work closely with him because we do prep for the SSAT as well. So we don't only prep for the SAT and ACT, we prep for the SSAT, which is the standardized test to get you into boarding school. So we have students who are prepping right now to go to boarding school. So it's not something, we don't have a philosophical stand on it like, oh, we think it's the best thing or oh, we think it's the worst thing. Remember what we said at the beginning? Fit.
Yeah.
It's all about fit. For me, boarding school was a great fit.
For me, it would
Not have been a fit. For some people who go, it's a great fit. It's just that if you're going to boarding school, you need to know these are the things. If you have no time to waste, so I just pick and fast as to get to know everybody, so I could be a proctor. A proctor is like a prefect.
Yeah.
If you're applying to certain universities and you don't have certain leadership positions, you just dead before, like you're just dead before the application. Like it just
also, you have to go there and do well. Like you cannot just go there and be a mediocre student, because they're gonna look at, okay, say you go to Exeter, that's like the most selected one.
Andover.
Alright, fine. She went to Andover. Say you went to Andover and you are just a mediocre, like you're in the middle of the class. They're looking at you, the universities, in comparison to the people in your class.
Even if you left champion or
even
or
if
top of your class, no.
So
Then you
now-
go there and book some people and say, where they come from? Are they people that you want?
So-
that's what I felt when I went to boarding school. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to die. They're reading a book a week when I thought it was a book a term. Because that's what you said. And the teacher's like, okay, you're moving on to second book.
But more than just even that, they're looking at you and saying, why are people achieving 90s and you can only get 80s?
So boarding school can become a sink or swim situation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it depends on the child. And it depends on the boarding school.
Yeah.
It's big too. Because
Yeah.
sometimes some people just like, I want to go to this and that. And then go to the hardest one, and maybe them should have just inch back a little and go to one, maybe 3 tiers down or 2 tiers down so that they could excel, stand out and get into a good college. Same thing with some people who want to go to med school. Or by the way, if you want to go to med school and you're Jamaican, please stay in Jamaica because it's not an undergraduate degree in the US. We give this advice out all the time. We have people who have enrolled in our SAT class who we have to refund when we hear is med school they want to go to, because we know that U is the cheapest med school for a Jamaican student, and so if budget is an issue, plus you're an international student, it's going to be both expensive, hard, and take longer. So I had to put that in. But like I have a US citizen or a student in the US, I remember I have one right now, very strong, but know that they want to go to med school. Is going to Harvard undergraduate the best thing for you to do, knowing that you probably want to go to Penn Med or Harvard Med?
It's rough.
Maybe you could have go Rutgers and just get some really great grades and then go to Harvard Med School. You know what I mean? Because Harvard undergrad is going to be cutthroat.
Yeah. I have had friends from Princeton, like one of my best friends, he just got rejected from all of them. He's American from like Georgia. He got rejected from all of the med schools and he was at Princeton. He made it hard. But yes, because he was going to Princeton.
Nobody talking about balance list.
So the point I'm making is a lot of my friends who are pre-med at Princeton were worried about their averages and they were telling me, look, it doesn't matter if you went to Princeton. Like someone from a lower tier university with a higher average will rank above you because they're in med school over there. They're just looking at the raw numbers and then just eliminate you. So you do have to be very careful.
You have to be fair.
I've seen it with
Take
my
a long-term approach.
So he's reapplying now and
Well, tend to balance it.
What is your take on community college after fifth form?
So community college after fifth form would be an easier transition than college after fifth form. Community college is also much cheaper than university. After 2 years, if you have a sufficiently high average, depending on the state that you're in, and well, it doesn't depend on the state you're in. If you have a sufficiently high average, you can normally transfer very easily to public universities and get scholarships too. But depending on the state you're in, those could be really good universities.
yeah.
Like University of
Community
Virginia. No, meaning if you go to a community college in Virginia and then transfer to UVA, you're winning right now. There's no problem in your life because UVA is a very good public school. Those public schools often have very good agreements with community
For
colleges.
example, the student system in New York.
Exactly.
State University of New York and City University of New York.
And but it's not that you can only apply to public university after college. You can apply really to any university. The only caveat is that you are like not a U.S. citizen and you go to community college, when you are trying to transfer, financial aid and scholarships for transfer international students basically does not exist. This is why sometimes people come to me and are like, oh, I'm going to do UE for a year, and then I'm going to transfer and get this scholarship. I was like, okay, show me a green card.
Because basically
You don't have a green card or citizenship, you're not getting money as a transfer student. Better you gap year it than talk about you going to any other university.
Because basically how it works to why aid is so limited as a transfer is that they've already given the aid to the people who are already in the class from freshman year. So you are kind of just joining. And yes, maybe some people might have dropped out, but especially at very competitive schools like, okay, for example, at Princeton, the attrition rate is 99%. And I know the two people who caused the rate to drop.
The attrition rate is 99 or what?
The retention rate.
Oh,
is
retention.
99.
Okay, okay.
The attrition rate is like
So most people stay.
yeah.
But again, with community college versus sixth form. 2 years
It
community,
depends
2 years
on the
sixth form.
community college. One issue with community colleges is sometimes there is not very rigorous structure or academic advising. So one problem I know, and you can Google it, again, we spend a lot of time reading articles, but one issue with community college is that when a lot of times with the kids, it depends on their level of motivation. So a lot of people drop out before even getting the associate's period. You're not in a pool of super motivated students in the way that you probably would be in a K program. They're probably more motivated and academic than the people you're going to be around, depending on community college. But also, because of the academic advising, sometimes when it's time to transfer, you find out every credit where you never do, that you never have, and this, and oh, you need to go and do this course again, or you need to go to that course. And so I would say if you're choosing community college versus Cape, Cape is, very straightforward standard, and there's a certain pool of students, and there's a certain structure, and you're gonna do these courses, you're gonna do this exam, and then this is gonna happen, and then you're gonna apply to college. With community college, you just have to be certain that you're doing the right courses to transfer to the school that you want to go to, into the major that you want to go into.
So you pretty much have to kind of know more what you want to
Yes,
do.
it's
if you're going
much
to
more
community
self-
college.
Absolutely. And you have to make sure you're
Very
on
good
top
to
of
know.
your team.
That's very, very good to know. Because most of the kids, speaking for like my friend and my daughter and her
Yeah.
friend, they don't have a clue what they want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have a clue. They've taken a variety of subjects to keep them somewhat even keeled, but they don't have a clue what they want
Yeah,
to do.
and
in
that
the
was
next 10
me
years.
as well. So, I speak for those students when I say the more time you can buy for yourself to choose, and the more you can explore, the more internships you can do.
And do Christina's career assessment. That's why
Yes.
she introduced it, because she knew the struggle.
No, and I did it. I thought you couldn't have this book, and I took the Myers-Briggs test, and actually under my assessment it said counsel as one of the things. So after a few years of this, like exploring different types of counseling, because I talked about like child psychology, because I knew I didn't want to go to med school to be a psychiatrist, and I settled on educational consulting. I even thought about being a marketer consultant, but it really rings true for me that this test worked and it gave me some great options to explore.
This is the Christina administers a personality/career assessment that's based on Myers-Briggs, and then goes through the results and talks it over with students and
I would have
helps them
case studies
to
for
figure
different
out like
personalities.
what they might fit into. And you can set, Lily can help you to, if you want to set up one of those, Lily can help you right now to set it up.
Yeah.
So does that process come with the college, the counseling session?
If you, so
If you
it's
sign
a add-on.
Okay.
If you sign on to the full program, it would be one of the things in the full program. If you just want to do it on its own, you can
Like
set
a
up
one-on-one meeting.
a one-on-one. In the class, there's a class that deals with it, but it wouldn't be one-on-one because it's a class.
So
So it would have the students do it. It would have the students review. They would talk about it in class, but it wouldn't be. But if you want to do it one-on-one, then you can stay with it.
Yeah.
So, since there is a need for children to choose the right subjects in some way, for the path, it should be from the third form
It
perspective.
really needs to be from third form.
So we have a lot of third graders coming for initials with us, because they don't necessarily need consistent counseling. They're not coming to us every 4 to 6 weeks to talk, because they're in third form, but they might set up a meeting to talk about subject choice or career assessment.
One thing I would say why it doesn't it doesn't trouble me as much is because in my opinion, especially in this world today, I don't believe a third former needs to know what career they're going to take and then base their entire subject selection on this career, because God, you never know, it can change next year and it can change in the fall, and it probably will. And so I recommend the personality career assessment for a third form to select subjects.
Yeah.
I recommend it in lower six, even fifth form, lower six, so that you know what to explore more. It doesn't mean you're settling on that, but you know, hey, maybe I should be looking at summer programs in this area. Maybe when I go to college, I'm going to take more classes in that area, since I know that this is a possibility for me, since I know I'm more leaning to that side. For a third form, the most important thing to do is to take the core college prep curriculum, which if you want to be an astrophysicist, or you want to be a computer scientist, or you want to be an English major, or you want to do econ, selecting the 5 core from a college admissions perspective gives you all the prerequisites.
And with 8 subjects or 9 subjects, you do have room to do it. Even with 5 subjects, I managed to do it. Yeah. So just stay as broad as possible. So like for example, you might do math and English, those are required, and then you do like bio, physics, and then you do Spanish, French.
If this open house ever finished and I never tell you that ADMAC is most
Oh,
highly
yes.
recommended, I would have been remiss. I would have go home and be like, Robert, you could
Do
never
ADMAC. It helps
ADMAC.
you in SAT.
ADMAC. I see some people shaking their
And
head.
even if you do like,
That wasn't in your original 5.
No, because we call it math, but poor
The
CXC.
1-6.
Well, listen to this now.
you can do
All
1
math.
for my 1 in 5th.
That's all of the schools are set up. But poor things, it never used to be this way. What happened is that the SAT changed. The ACT always had on advanced mathematics, and that's why a lot of people didn't do it. The SAT now has on that math. The truth is that if you have not done ADMAC, when you book up the SAT, there are going to be many questions that you're not going to know what to do on because you never learned it. And this is only telling us, God bless the CXC, that the US is expecting high school graduates to know things in math that CXC is not teaching. That's why I said this is not in a high school.
And she's not just saying that. I'm a person who only did CNC math, not even ADMAC, and in college it became a serious issue.
Even though she was an English major.
Because I had to do statistics and
The
I was
problem-
going to the most tutoring. All my friends had to help me with my homework. God helped me when I took econ and almost failed.
Alright, listen to the problem. The problem is that we are telling people that ADMAC is advanced
There's
math.
hope if you didn't do it for 5th form, you can do it for 6th.
Oh, no, here's what we do. So what we do for the SAT class actually is that we have a separate ADMAC for SAT. So we're not teaching you anything on the ADMAC curriculum that's not coming on the SAT. So the SAT doesn't cover the whole ADMAC curriculum, it covers certain topics. So we have a separate class now that people who have never done ADMAC, we recommend highly that they enroll in because they need to know these topics because they're also tested on the SAT. So that is the approach to ADMAC. But obviously, if you are in a position to take ADMAC before that, then it would be useful. People also don't realize that for something like computer science, did you know that you can't study computer science in Canada without take math? Because these are just so random facts. People are busy taking comp sci. They don't even require comp sci. They want the math. They're like, we'll teach you everything about comp sci when you reach here. Just have the math. The math is one of those basic things. Like, you know, we'll teach you everything about business. Don't bother with no MOB and POB. We'll teach you that, but where's the math? That's what business, even econ. You can't go to Bentley to do business unless you've done cake math. And sometimes I wish I just had a megaphone and I could just go and just running these announcements continuously. Because it gets in the way.
I regret cake math meaning integrated math or pure math.
Pure math.
I'm doing intermath currently, so I was wondering if there was anything.
Alright, can I be honest? I'm not exactly sure. I have to call Mr. Bell on this integrated math. I don't know what
It's
integrated
a
math.
pared down version of pure.
Oh, is it? I don't know. Is it covering less topics? We know pure. We don't know integrated. If it's like integrated science, then
No, a lot of the topics in ADMAC is overlaps with what is in intermath. The only thing with intermath is probably has more probability topics.
okay. I think Intimath sounds like it should be fine for the SAT. Intimath is probably not fine for the University of Toronto if you want to do a computer science degree.
Yeah.
I'm doing econ.
Okay, that should be fine.
Alright.
That should be fine. Any more questions? So have you guys learned some things? Yay! So we chat no fun. Okay. So as I said, if you want to set up an initial consultation to talk about your individual college plan, you can sign up with Lily. If you want to sign up for anything else like the career assessment, Lily. The college class, Lily. The SAT class, which starts tomorrow, preparing students for
And
March.
that's Lily.
Lily again. That's Lily.